They were strange, yes curious, unpredictable, annoyingly hopeful, but harmless. Even after joining the Council of Civilized Species, humanity's representatives always spoke softly, always negotiated patiently, always smiled as if nothing could truly anger them. No species remembered the day humanity's tolerance snapped, but Sarah did. And so did Jack. The first crack from the observation deck of the Terran embassy on Velaris 4, Sarah watched the sky bruise purple with the planet's dusk. She had served as a diplomatic officer for 6 years, 6 long. Frustrating years of keeping peace between species that barely understood empathy. Jack, her partner in both missions and life, leaned against the railing beside her. He was a former starship engineer, recently forced into politics because humans needed more technical perspectives in negotiations, mostly. Jack fixed things, ships, systems, relationships. Even Sarah on her worst days. Another riot in Sector 12, he said quietly. Protesters attacked the refugee center again. Sarah sighed. Because they're human refugees. Everything's tolerated except us. Jack gave a dry laugh. At least they're consistent. But then the embassy alarms screamed. The incident Valerian soldiers stormed into the human district. Their rifles hummed with charged plasma. Sarah and Jack rushed inside the embassy to access the surveillance feed. The screen showed it all. Human refugees' families. Elderly, children were being dragged from shelters. Soldiers shouted accusations. Trespassing. Biological contamination. Violation of species purity laws. Sarah's hands trembled as she rewound the footage. She refused to believe what she had seen. Then the screen flickered. A soldier slammed a human teenager to the ground. The boy cried out. His mother screamed for mercy. Plasma fire lit the streets. Jack's jaw locked. Sarah felt her chest tighten until she couldn't breathe. Council rules meant humans could not respond with force. They were expected to remain calm and trust the diplomatic process. A process that had failed them for generations. This isn't an isolated incident anymore, Jack whispered. This is a purge. Warnings ignored. Sarah contacted every council member she could reach. She sent holovids, data logs, urgent pleas. Hours passed, only one reply came through. Human Officer Sarah Green, your claims are under review. Do not escalate tensions. Remain compliant. Compliant. Even now, after refugees were being executed in the streets, Jack stared at the message. His voice turned cold. They think we won't do anything. They think we're too soft. Sarah clenched her fists. They think wrong. The moment humanity snapped when the Valerian soldiers marched toward the embassy gates. Sarah and Jack stood together at the entrance. The soldiers pointed weapons at them. This district is under planetary authority, the commander said. We are authorized to remove all human presence. Jack stepped forward. There are families inside, children. That is not relevant. The commander replied. Sarah felt something inside her fracture, a line drawn across centuries of restraint. Compassion, cooperation. The commander raised his rifle. Jack whispered. Don't. Not to her. To the universe for what would happen next. But Sarah was no longer the patient diplomat the galaxy expected. She raised her wrist device to the sky and pressed a command she hoped humanity would never need. Above Velaris 4. Clouds split open as hundreds of Terran dreadnoughts, decloaked. 3 centuries of peaceful exploration had quietly built the most advanced fleet the galaxy had ever seen. Ships designed not for conquest, but for protection no one had ever asked humans for until now. Valerian forces, Sarah said calmly. Stand down. The commander sneered. Your fleet will be met with. But his transmission died as the lead dreadnought projected a warning across the entire planet. Humanity has been attacked. We are authorized to defend our own. Stand aside or be disarmed. VELAR is -4 froze. For the first time. Every species understood something terrifying. Humanity had never been weak. They had simply been kind. The reckoning Velaris 4's military attempted to deploy planetary shields. Jack tapped a console on his wrist. Net now. A silent wave of blue light rippled across the atmosphere, gentle, elegant, impossibly controlled. Every weapon on the planet powered down at once, not destroyed. Not crippled, just turned off. Sarah spoke through the Dreadnought's broadcast systems. You hunted our people in the streets. You attacked children under our protection. Today your cruelty ends. Valerian generals begged for negotiation. Council members screamed about sovereignty. Some demanded humanity stand down for the sake of galactic harmony. But harmony had never included humans. Jack squeezed Sarah's hand. Tell them. And she did. For centuries, you mistook our patience for weakness, our compassion for compliance, our silence for permission. Sarah took a breath that felt like fire. Humanity will not be harmed ever again. Aftermath. The council convened an emergency session. For the first time in history, humans walked into the chamber not as supplicants but as equals. Sarah stood at the central podium. Jack remained at her side. The chamber was silent. This isn't revenge, Sarah said. This is a new rule. You treat our species with dignity, or you lose the privilege of dealing with us at all. Some species protested. But none forgot the dreadnought fleet still orbiting. VELARS-4. Humans were welcomed, truly welcomed, into the central governing body within hours. Refugee protections were enacted immediately. Velarus 4 issued a planet-wide apology, and the galaxy learned to tread carefully. Not out of fear, but out of respect, the unrecorded day later. When historians asked what specific moment had caused humanity to snap, no one could agree. Some said it was the attack on the refugee boy. Others said it was centuries of quiet suffering. A few claimed it was the instant Sarah pressed the fleet summoned command, yet Sarah and Jack knew the truth. Humanity's tolerance had not snapped. In a single moment, it had simply reached the point where protecting others required stopping the cycle of cruelty once and for all. And so the day passed into myth. No species recalled the exact day humanity's tolerance snapped. But every species remembered what happened after.